What's going on, guys? Scott the Empower Building Fitness back here with another workout video for y'all. So what you're seeing here is going to be Thursday's upper workout. So this was an optional workout, an accessory workout. So I don't think I had to come in this day, or I had the option to come in and do this. So what you're seeing off here, the program called for overhead press first, but I decided to go ahead and get the bench and push out of the way, just because benches always get taken up and stuff like that, as people know. So what you're seeing here is that the program actually called for floor press, but since you can't do floor press in my gym, it's really hard. There's nowhere really to do floor press. Don't have any racks to do it off. What I decided to do was I'd do benching, but I'd use my band instead, because technically the band helps you at the bottom and you're locking out the movement at the top yourself. And that's basically what a floor press is. Floor press, you're using just the top half of your lockout. So that just called for 3 sets of 5. I only believe I recorded 2 sets there. I think I missed a set. And from there we just moved on to OHP, what the program called for, and this called for 95% of my 1 rep max for 3 singles. So that ended up being, let's see here, 72.5 kilo. So 72.5, is it 7? Yeah, 72.5 kilo for 3 singles, and these went up relatively well. I do get stuck a tiny bit, like they wore an effort. I had to put effort into them, but every single one of them went up extremely well, and I was extremely happy with that. From there, the program called to go back to the bench and do some close grip. So on this day, I believe it called for just 3 sets of 6 on close grip bench. So what I done was I put on 90 kilo here. I'm quite strong at close grip bench. If I'm honest, my close grip bench is catching up to my regular bench. And that's where it is. That's why when I'm normally regularly benching, my grip is quite close, and when I close grip I don't actually go that close. I just go closer than my competition style, because technically then it is a close grip. So you can see here my my hands, you can see where the knurling actually stops. I mean, I'd say about 2 inches in from that, and that's good enough for my close grip. That's where I like the close grip, and it's extremely comfortable for me there. And all of these went up relatively well as well. You can see I don't have a spotter, which is kind of new for me. I'm always used to having a spotter, and the last week or so I've been really having to bench without a spotter, which is kind of new for me, because I'm not really used to lifting the weight off at all, and it's kind of strange. It does, in my opinion, waste a bit of energy. So if you can get a spotter, do get a spotter, guys. It's a lot easier, plus it's a lot safer. But I know how to get the weight off my chest if I do fail. But luckily on this day I got all 3 sets of 6, and it went really well. And you can see as well, I'm coming all the way down to my chest, and as I said in videos before, typically when I do close grip bench I don't like coming all the way down to my chest. I like stopping about 1 inch before and getting contraction on the tricep. But considering we're not worrying about bodybuilding this time, and we're just worrying about strength, I decided to go all the way down full range of motion. So from there we moved on what the program called for. After doing those 3 exercises, it just said 2 tricep optional tricep exercises. So the first thing we're doing here is for the short head of the tricep, and this is just 1 hand cable extensions. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just grabbing the cable 1 hand at a time, and instead of doing double hand, you normally do it with a bar or a straight bar or ropes. So I'm just singly doing it at one time to really isolate the tricep, the short head of the tricep. And we kept it relatively light here as well. We've done 4 sets of 8 to 12. And this is one of my favourite tricep movements. Normally I would do this, I would put it in a workout when I am doing my normal training, when I do mixed bodybuilding and powerlifting together. I would normally throw this down on the days where I do triceps. I feel like it really does hit my triceps, and it's one of the fewer tricep exercises I get a real pump in my triceps. So I really do enjoy this exercise, and there isn't actually many tricep exercises I do enjoy, but this happens to be one of them. So if anyone's never done this before, I really recommend going ahead and trying this tricep exercise. Once again, you know, you can use 1 arm at a time. You can really isolate the triceps just as well. And you can see here I'm switching from arm to arm, just giving you a view of what it's like, what I actually do, instead of just showing you one side. Overall I really liked this workout. I was not tired at the end of it at all. It was a relatively light workout and relatively easy, and nothing too difficult at all, which I kind of liked. I'm always having big not stressful, but extremely hard workouts and having to push myself, and it was nice to come in and just being able to hit a few exercises, hit them for what I was supposed to hit them, and just enjoy my workout overall instead of having to grind through workouts. What I actually done on this day was at lunch in school, I really carb loaded a lot of food I had, because I thought I had a big bench day coming up, but then when I got to the gym it worked out that I didn't actually have a bench day, and I felt really good for benching and I didn't actually have to bench, so that was kind of a bit of a bummer, but it was alright. From there we're moving on to the last tricep exercise, as you can see here, and we're still using the same cable. So what we're doing this time is we're doing single overhead extensions, so the camera shot is kind of off here, sorry guys, I wasn't able to see, I was just trying to point the camera, but you can kind of see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing here is, anyone ever done overhead sort of French press or dumbbell press, this is typically the same idea, but you're just using the cables and you're doing one hand at a time, so you're able to isolate the long head of the tricep, which actually is the biggest part of your arms. And a key thing, guys, is triceps are one of the main things for bench press. Everyone always thinks chest and stuff like that, but if your triceps are really lagging, normally your bench is going to be lagging. That's a major thing. So if your bench is lagging, I suggest go ahead and hammer your triceps, because that's what I really do. My bench was quite lagging, and as I've mentioned before, and as well as using the band and stuff like that, I've really implemented a lot of close grip benching and a lot of tricep movements and built up my triceps, because my triceps were real weak body parts compared to my biceps. I always had quite big biceps and short triceps, and ever since I've hammered my triceps out a lot and made them much bigger. My bench has significantly improved, as you've seen there. As I said, my close grip bench now is nearly better than my normal bench, which is a big improvement on my end. So it just shows that a little hard work and a little bit of finding out where you need to, and what areas you need to work on can really improve what you're actually trying to do. So this is just the last set of these overhead tricep extensions you can see here. I just decided I'd throw all the sets in to show you what I actually done for this day, and that's all that this workout calls for. So what you're going to see now here on the screen, can't speak English, what you're going to see here now on the screen in a second is just going to be the actual workout. So I'm just going to show you up on the screen and read it out to you. And once again, use my video, the program is where you can actually find this program on muscleandstrength.com. If you haven't seen that, check out the video called The Program, and the link is in the description. So here on the screen you can see it says optional workout accessory 1. So overhead press, as I said, 95% for 3 singles. I've done that second. So what the floor press is after this, 80% for 3 sets of 5. I showed you that's what I done first. I put that ahead of overhead press, and instead of doing floor press, as I said, I used the band. Because in my mind it really done the kind of the same thing, and it's the only thing I could walk around doing. So yeah, after that then it's just the close grip bench, as you can see there, for 3 sets of 6, and then it's just the 2 optional tricep exercises, and that's what I'll call for this workout, guys. So it was a nice short, sweet, as I said, quick workout, and I really enjoyed it. So I just want to say thanks very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Facebook and Instagram links are in the description. As always, thanks to everyone who has subscribed and liked and shared and followed me on this journey so far towards my first powerlifting meet. We will get there, we'll get stuff done, and we'll hit a big total. So once again, thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.